So you've probably seen those weird videos online, right? A Tesla screen shows a person standing there, but when you look, there's nobody. And it gets even creepier when it happens in an empty cemetery. Is it just a glitch in the system, a ghost in the machine, or could it be something else entirely? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty wild theory that claims to have the answer.
Okay, look at this. This is exactly what we're talking about. You've got a Tesla. It's parked in a graveyard, and its super advanced sensor system is swearing it sees a person standing right by a headstone, but the place is completely empty. These kinds of videos are all over the internet, and they've got people asking, what is actually going on here?
So that's the big question, isn't it? Is this just a simple, boring sensor glitch, the car's tech getting confused, or are these Teslas picking up on something we can't see? Well, there's a theory out there that says, yeah, they absolutely are.
And that theory is called the Vaxnet hypothesis. It's a pretty out-there explanation for this whole anomaly, and it tries to connect the dots between these Tesla ghosts and some other strange electronic stuff people have been reporting.
All right, so what exactly is Vaxnet, according to this hypothesis? Well, the theory goes that mRNA injections create this kind of biodigital lattice inside the human body. Think tiny, tiny nanostructures. And this network, this Vaxnet, is supposedly capable of sending out Bluetooth low-energy signals. You know, BLE, it's the same stuff your Fitbit uses to sync with your phone. So in essence, the claim is that it could turn a person into a walking, talking signal emitter.
Let's break down the core claims here. First, the idea is that these nanostructures in the body are emitting BLE signals. Second, proponents claim they've actually detected these signals coming from vaccinated people. But here's the absolute kicker, and this is where it ties back to the Teslas. The theory claims these emissions can continue even after death. That's the whole connection. The ghosts the Tesla sees? The theory says those are these post-mortem BLE signals coming from the graves.
Okay, so if you're going to make a claim that big, you need some way to prove it, right? You need evidence. And that's where this idea of a new forensic stack comes in. A set of tools they say are being used to detect and record all this.
At the heart of this whole thing is something called the BlueFang Protocol. It's basically their standardized method for finding these signals. A really key part of it is an app called VaxScanner. And get this, they say you can even run it on the Tesla's own web browser to scan for these specific BLE signals right from the car.
So this proof stack has three main pillars. First, you have the Tesla itself. It's not just a car anymore, it's the sensor witness. Its cameras and radar are what spot the anomaly in the first place. Then you have the VaxScanner app, which they call the BLE interpreter. Its job is to figure out what those signals are. And finally, there's Glyphchain, which is built on the Solana blockchain. They call this the truth ledger, a place to lock in the data so it can't be changed. So let's talk about that proof on the blockchain. Why use a truth ledger? Well, for the people behind this theory, using blockchain is absolutely critical. It's their way of creating a permanent, public evidence trail that nobody can censor or control.
The actual process they say they follow is pretty straightforward. Step 1. You scan. You take a BLE scanner, like VaxScanner, into a cemetery. Step 2. You log. You record the unique MAC addresses that pop up from different grave plots. And step 3, you notarize. You take those logs, hash them, which is like creating a unique digital fingerprint, and then you store that fingerprint on the Glyphchain blockchain. Boom, a permanent record, they say.
Now here's a key piece of what they call evidence, something they point to as a real smoking gun. A lot of the Bluetooth MAC addresses they're logging don't have an OUI, which stands for Organizationally Unique Identifier. See, normally, that little code tells you who made the device, Apple, Samsung, Sony, whatever. The fact that it's missing, they argue, means these signals aren't coming from a normal phone or a pair of headphones. They're coming from something else.
And that's why the blockchain part is so important to them. Using something like Glyphchain is all about creating this public, unchangeable record of what they're finding. The whole point is to build a log of these so-called bio-emissive anomalies that exist completely outside of the control of, any official institution. It's their version of an incorruptible truth.
So, where does all this lead? Well, according to the sources pushing this theory, this is way bigger than just a car glitch. It's not just about weird Bluetooth signals. For them, this is about a war for reality.
And they're not subtle about it. Check out this quote from the source material. This moment is not marketing, it's a fractal timestamp in the war for reality. I mean, wow, they see this as a pivotal moment, using everyday technology to fight what they see as a bigger information war.
So it really boils down to two totally competing realities. You've got the institutional view on one side, Teslas just have sensor glitches. The BLE signals are just stray signals from somebody's phone nearby. And all this blockchain stuff, it's basically meaningless data. But then you have the protocol view. Nope. Teslas are witness nodes. Those signals are post-mortem emissions, and the blockchain is an immutable truth ledger. Two completely different worlds.
And this brings us to their grand conclusion. They're saying that when you put these two things together, the Tesla logs of phantom pedestrians plus the specific BLE detection, you get what they call proof of Vaxnet. In their world, the Tesla isn't just a car anymore. Its logs are the forensic validation for the entire theory.
So what are we really looking at here? Is this a whole new way of doing forensic truth-finding, where anyone can use their tech to build a case outside the system? Or is this just a really, really high-tech digital ghost story? That's the question we're left with. A new kind of proof or just a new kind of myth?